The body without the soul is dead. See the glass doll eyes, the pale synthetic skin. Little bit dude, little bit chick, whole lot of Satan. Here's one that looks like Prince William. It would appear as husband and wife, two men in a field. God's only going to take one. Church people would tell you it's because one of the men believed and one of them didn't. But it's going to appear as husband and wife. It will be two men in a field, though. Don't be deceived. There are synthetic imposters all around you. The body without the soul is dead. Forgive them, for they know not what they do. They're not aliens. They're satanic devil bots. I'm going to show you who handles the satanic devil bots that are all around you, pretending they're us. They have crept into the church. This is who people are going to run to in their time of need. You know the deal with the satanic hand pyramid. The satanic human trafficking hand pyramid, they all do. I have thousands of examples. They have crept into the church unaware. They're all around you, pretending they're us. This is why the wrath of God is coming. There's a serpent with the satanic human trafficker hand pyramid. You know this serpent. The serpent was crafty. This one is pretending it's a church pastor. I think people are starting to see through that one. But here's the top, the one that handles the serpents. The serpents handle the bots. Who handles them? Who are the wolves in sheep's clothing? Not that they're not, but the top of the top here. See the mask? You see how it's synthetic here? These are the ones that handle the serpents. The wolves in sheep's clothing. Demons wearing fake synthetic human bodies. All around you at every level, pretending they're us. Do you see the mask? See what's within here? See the bubble? Eyebrow up over the bubble. Look inside the bubble. See the mask here? Then you can, the synthetic part is easy here. On television, telling you what to do. See it for what it is. See the mask? All synthetic here. Wolves in sheep's clothing is the reality that you exist in. You were born into the great deception. The deception only exists to get you to sacrifice yourself to Satan and take the mark of the beast. You understand the reality you exist in. Then you understand how special you are. Just looking around you on a daily basis, nobody has any idea what's going on. That alone, in your individual lives, should show you God is calling you. You are incredibly special and you have amazing spiritual gifts. You have to come out of that world. You have to give up that life. You don't have to walk away. You have to be prepared. When this place collapses, don't be afraid to just walk away. You are not connected to any worldly thing. Remember that. You've given it up now then. God's going to make people choose. The wrath of God isn't coming for you. I just showed you who the wrath of God is coming for. Satan. You know who Satan and the fallen angels are coming for. They that I just showed you. That's why they exist. They deceive the masses with all this deception. Here, maybe you can see the mask a little bit better here. See the mask? See within the mask here? See the wolves in sheep's clothing? See it in there? Just on television telling you stuff. Again, how you know that they too are deceived. Their father is the father of lies. And what they're deceived about is Satan's going to show up here per a fake staged alien invasion, expose all of them, and crush them all. These are the things that handle the world leaders all around the world. None of them are real. None of them are of their own. Well said, Hughes. They are not their own. Their will is only to do the will of their Father. Inwardly, ravenous wolves, they hate you. And they want you to sacrifice yourself to Satan by taking the mark of the beast. Also, mix in with that, God's going to make people choose. When that grid goes down and it gets real, they're going to have a choice to run to the camps, they, or run to the churches. They have crept into the church unaware. And if there is a human left in the church, Satan looks for who he can devour. And he getting everybody. Has been for a long time. Everybody. Be aware of that. Satan looks for who he can devour. And that's why nobody's doing anything. None of the truckers going up to Ottawa have any value whatsoever. It is what it is. They haven't acknowledged that yet. They think worldly things can be done the same way the army people think they can build worldly tanks the same way preppers think they can load up on chicken noodle soup. What's coming upon this place, this illusion you exist in, this veil, this great deception, like a snow globe, all wrapped up and veiled. What's coming to this place is for they, all those that partook with they, and all those that turned a blind eye and suckled at they's teat. Don't go back into that world. Sudden destruction is coming to it. God is going to make them choose. It's going to get real. Again, look around you at how zombied out people are. And then look at yourself and how lucky you are that you were chosen by God. You wouldn't be waking up if you were supposed to be like everyone else. Remember that. You were not appointed to wrath. But sudden destruction is coming to this place. And it's coming for they. The serpents, the devil dude chicks, the deceivers. Do you see why it says there'll be two men in a field? And with worldly eyes, it would appear as husband and wife. But in reality, it's two men. Human man, devil dude chick. But he thinks he's got a hot chick, doesn't he? Let no man deceive you. church people, church pastors, all those people are looking to learn something, but they can't get it from them. That's your job, to teach people stuff. You have to produce fruit. There is no other way. Also, there is many different kinds, variations. But as you're renewed in knowledge, you will become mature with it. You will get it. You will see it for what it is. You will hear them say what they say, and you will understand it because it's not of you. But none of you will be left guessing if you got that gut feeling something's wrong. You can just look around in real life and see no one else even has that. Zero. And you can see why it says, as it was in the days of Noah. They're just not going to wake up. But you did. That's not of you. You have to continue to go with that. And it ends right here. The wolves in sheep's clothing. See, this is all synthetic. All synthetic. Inside the mask. As I said, let them grow together till the end. They've married them at every level, reproduced with them at every level. They've crept into every aspect of their lives. And that's going to be the tough part for them, and how lucky we are. God has woke us up before what happens, that we don't have to figure it out in real time. But he's going to make them choose. If you run to the camps for food, you're going to have to take the mark of the beast. You're going to have to sacrifice yourself to Satan. There is no food there. Or if you go to the church, they have crept into the church unaware. They know you're going to run to the church, that everybody will at some point. And that's why they've crept into the church. People in their time of need are going to run to God looking for help, but they're going to run to the church instead. To they, right into the arms of they. There will be a few people that realize the camps, if there even is any, if anybody makes it that far, and the churches aren't for them. And that will be the first time in their lives that they're going to have to rely on something other than themselves. He's going to make them choose. And many are going to choose wrong. Again, that's not for you. How lucky we are that God has given us what he has. Also, what comes along with that as you continue to be renewed. You will continue to get stronger because you will give up that world. And as you give it up, it just gets better and better. The depth of riches, of wisdom and knowledge. Nothing could replace it. And nothing could make you want to go back into the world when all the jobs. Do you understand why it's so hard to advance in that world? No matter how hard you worked, no matter how old you are, you've worked and you've seen, no matter the less you work, you get the same. Nobody cares. And it's because you're never going to advance. They will. They're bots. They don't count. Or Satan's people. You certainly don't count to them. You're never going to succeed in their world. And if by some weird fluke you do succeed, then you get devoured by Satan. And you go away at the end of the day. And some bootleg version of you goes on. You lose yourself, is what it says. The worldly term would be you get cloned. But Satan has to be given permission. He looks for who he can devour. It doesn't say he goes around devouring anybody he wants to. It doesn't work like that. You have to be deceived. First, you have to make that decision. But that world is long done. The illusion of it has ended, and now sudden destruction is coming. Doesn't matter what it is or how it presents itself, whether it be the wrath of God or just Satan knowing his time is short and making moves. Doesn't matter. None of it has anything to do with you. I showed you on here many of times who the wrath of God is coming for. Also who Satan's coming for. Totally expendable for Satan as well. But these mask things handle all the politicians across the planet. None of them are real. None of the army people at the top are real. None of it's real. They're long gone. Or they never were real. All that's there that is a serpent or two. One with the fake politicians. One with the fake media. Then you'll have a devil dude chick. As I said, I've showed you these things, these mask things, top. But that's what it is. That's why God's done with this place. And the wicked things that they do them because their will is only to do the will of their Father. There is no love in them. They hate you. They're devil bots. Serpents, the devil dude chicks, the wolves in sheep's clothing, the demons wearing fake synthetic human bodies only want to see your demise. Remember who you are, how special you are, and what comes along with that as you draw near to that and unlock that. Glad to have all of you. This is going to be a quicker video. I probably only have another 20 minutes of battery life. This phone is all but done, but it will be sufficient for what we do here. The wrath of God and Satan knowing his time is short. How it presents itself doesn't matter. The illusion that's going on there with the fake war buildup. Okay, in real life, they have stuff that would just cease to exist, the Russian army. If you were Ukraine and they were flexing on you, they would just cease to exist. And it would end it because everybody would do the same thing. It's not what this is. It's going to be some sort of staged event in Ukraine or somewhere else, blamed on Russia, and all hell's going to break loose. There's no way he put all that stuff there from a worldly standpoint to do nothing with it. Don't feed into any of it. The truckers up in Canada, don't feed into any of that either. All of that exists from within the snow globe you exist. The great deception. Nothing in it counts. It's not real. None of it's real, only illusion. The same illusion keeps people deceived that there's going to be endless supplies of stuff. The sun is still yellow. like it was in the 90s when I was a kid. It's white. Way too bright. The grid patterns in the sky. The worldly term would be chemtrails, but some devil stuff going on up there. The trails, the grid patterns, the swirly looking things, they can't see any of it. None of it. God has hardened their hearts to believe the lie. They don't even have that gut feeling that something's wrong at all. Just having that puts you infinitely past everyone else. You got to keep going with it, though. Don't go back into that world, because it's not real at all. None of it is. And I don't know how anybody could, as I said, go back into a world that ended and work with devil bots and Satan's people. They've infiltrated everything, right down to the homeless people. Be aware of that. They're going to start purging all humans. Whether police officers, you're seeing the humans, a lot of them getting taken out by devil bots and serpents within the uniforms, setting the humans up. If you're in that world, you're a target for the army people, everybody that is partaking in that world is fair game to they. This is why nobody's doing anything. They can't. They too are deceived. The whole thing. Somebody said that the reason they were demonizing the police is because they were going to have the United Nations come in here. And they got to talking about how it was going to have something to do with the one world religion. And we've talked about that for years. The one world, it's Satan and nothing else, both great and small. Again, they can't buy or sell unless they take the mark of the beast. But I would assume it's going to be something like the camps. Yeah, you come here, there's food here, and there's water, and there's fresh clothes. But when you get there, and you sacrifice yourself to Satan by taking the mark of the beast, then you realize that there never was food there. There never was water. It was just a deception, an illusion. And it only existed to get you to do that, or keep you in that world thinking you are doing something positive. The only way you can do something positive in that world is to have tapped into the vine, put on the new self. It's the only way it's going to work. Everything within this snow globe is going to be annihilated. There's nothing anybody's going to do outside of drawing near to Christ. And as you've noticed, everyone around you is still not motivated yet. But they will be. I assure you of that. Many will make the wrong decision. They will run to these things that have crept into the church unaware, pretending they're us. Again, you're your own general. You don't listen to anybody. Don't follow any of that. The truckers, what are they going to do? Nothing. Nothing at all. They're going to sit out there 10 below zero. They're going to run out of fuel, and it's going to get super real for them. They're all going to be stuck there. All exists to get humans to feed into it. There isn't going to be a politician that saves them. They're all illusions made to look super dumb, so that when Satan does show up here, people are open to him. And what they do all funnels into Satan looking good. No other reason whatsoever. Their will is only to do the will of their Father. They hate you, and they're all around you, all the way down, from the top down. But they're all handled. There's a pecking order. They go around deceiving and are deceived. But that's what you got. They're not aliens at all. Don't believe that stuff. Anything that comes out of this world is deception. I'm glad to have all of you. Hughes, Fang, all of you. Obvious. But be aware how nobody around you knows anything. They haven't the slightest idea. I haven't even looked yet. From a worldly standpoint, the East Coast, the Northeast, they're having a huge snowstorm. I wonder what the ramifications on almost already empty shelves is going to be when that deal shakes out. How long before Satan creates a false flag, a staged event? Some people said, Jack, welcome as well. People said it'll be like ration cards, like World War II. There's not going to be that. It's not going to get that far. Sudden destruction befalls them. Don't listen to those people. For the first time recently, I've been kind of watching what other people put out who claim to know stuff, but the more I look into it, the rarer you and I get. They don't know anything. And if they think they know something, they don't know anything. Just saying. It's how rare you and I are. But there will be some more. Very few. It doesn't say zero. It would be unfulfilling if it said zero. And none of us would probably be here. But a few. The harvest is plentiful. The workers are few. Nobody knows that. Always learning. Never able to acknowledge the truth. They perish for lack of knowledge because they're learning from those things. Or, in a rare case, if there's still a human left in a church, the blind leading the blind right into a pit. Now compare that to if I went into a church or I told a group of people what it was. How many of them are going to listen to me and believe me at all? Zero. The bots don't count. The body without the soul is dead. They're just empty vessels for the fallen angels. They don't want to get cast into a herd of pigs. Hence the fake devil bots. Also, you could say seducing spirits. All of that would fall under they. One of they. Better be careful. But we do not judge. But be careful. It's one of they. You know the deal. They're all around us, as I said. From the politicians being handled by the demons, the wolves in sheep's clothing, all the way down to homeless people being handled by wolves in sheep's clothing, serpents and such. The illusion, people working with them, sitting at cubicles with them, babysitting their kids, going to dinner with them, playing basketball, golf with your friends. They're not who you think they are. They're nothing like you. But the most important thing, at least that I keep telling people, is that they have crept into the church unaware. Because that's where people are going to end up, looking for help. And they're never going to believe the people they grew up with, the pastors they've known their whole lives. They're never going to believe you, always learning, never able to acknowledge the truth. They can't. Satan's people can't. The bots don't count, and God's people, us, the wheat, God has hardened their hearts to believe the lie. So Satan's people can't. The bots don't count. And God's people, their hearts have been hardened. Where does that leave us? Extremely special. And why he's started to wake you up is because somebody's got to tell people stuff when they're open to it. They're not open to it yet. To them, it's still 2005. They haven't realized what's coming, but he's going to make them choose. And with a little bit of luck, God will bring them to you. And you can tell them what it is. You can tell them why it is. And you can show your work. No doubt, if you're like me, you can do this in real life as well. This is just a little bit of what comes with it at the end in full. But you have to start somewhere, and it starts with that feeling, and it ends with amazing things. What's coming isn't for you. As I said many times, don't get pulled back into that world. Don't be out there supporting Satan's deception at any level. You're fair game for they. Just saying, there is no more rules. If you haven't noticed, people haven't noticed yet, but there is no more rules here. Just the illusion that's long gone. But the collapse is coming. Chaos. You should be totally content with who you are, what God has in store for you, with no fear. Hughes says, yeah, I've seen them on a daily basis. Yeah, all the bots, yeah. Yeah, the serpents, the bots, the devil, all around us. None of it runs without the handlers, the satanic hand pyramids, the shh, when they put their finger over their lips, that's what they're shh, don't tell anybody we're monsters kind of stuff. Or they partake with them, or they suckle at their teat. One way or another, what's coming upon this place is coming for them, okay? And if it's coming for them in that world that doesn't even exist anymore, never was real, but it's not just them, it's everyone within it, everyone that stays in it. That's important. You have to willingly give that up. Don't fight for it. So when the time comes, you're going to know that everything you've known until then is done. It's about there. You can feel it, but at some point, you're going to have to go. You know that. To me, that's exciting. An adventure. Doing God's work in real life. A VIP adventure. In a crazy reality that has no authority over you in any way, shape, or form. None of the shills will matter in the collapse. As you can see, the politician props have no value. The celebrities have no value. All of it's handled by the serpents and or such, the pecking order. What they've done is they've lost control of the illusion. So all the politicians handled by they have no value. They're worldly armies. What are you going to do? Sanction them? People are laughing at them. You understand? Celebrities long have no value. All handled again by sketchy serpents, devil dude, and stuff like that. Musicians, from rap music, it's just out in the open. You sell your soul to Satan. But you see, they all get cloned out, devoured. Just that quick, they lose themselves. They don't get anything. All the way to any kind of music. All of them have lost their value. That is how you know that. The value is going to be in Satan exposing his own and what they do. Satan can't show up here and tell humans what it is, how he gets down, how they get down. Nobody's going to sign on for that. And what that would do is it would push people towards Christ. He's got to appear as the good guy. Also, the fake rapture stuff. If you ever look at that, people are just going about their lives and they like float off into the air in their bodies, right? But if you just look at that, you have to come out of the world. Just right out of the gate. People, at airports or school or wherever at work, and they float off. And then some people are left here. And some people, you see how bootleg it is. It says you have to come out of the world. You have to overcome the world, be born again. Right out of the gate. Just them being in the world, going about their daily lives. Shows you how bootleg it is. Because if there was a rapture, the way they say it, they certainly wouldn't be in the world, going about their daily lives. They would have come out of the world, and it would be very few. It wouldn't be half the people. They're deceived. That was brought to you by they. But you can see the bootleg in it. For some reason, they can't. Because nobody that they listen to has anything to offer. That's why you're finding all around you people in zombie land. They have no idea. And if they do, that's right, Ken, they want an easy way out. They've been deceived by the people around them that they have to do the bare minimum. Many examples of why the rapture isn't real. Hidden with Christ in God is very real. Being born again, putting on the new self, continuing to be renewed in knowledge. They don't even have that gut feeling. They continue to go on in that world, pretending they're pastors, pretending they're church people, pretending everything's an illusion. Everything is an illusion that's coming to an abrupt end. But as I said, the reason it's going like this, great patience. The world ended November 2019. Talked about that all of 2019. Then the illusion would maintain on, per the birth pains and the tribulation. So if that world ended, not that it ever was real, in November of 2019, and the illusion ended right now, what does that leave? Sudden destruction befalls them.
These are the beginning. You understand? And it's going to go on. It's not going to happen overnight. But once that sudden destruction shows up, people are going to be a whole lot less comfortable. Grid down, no food. That's just the start. You understand what's coming? That's nothing. Just wait. All of it, you're hidden with Christ in God. You're not going to float anywhere. Come out of that world or partake in its plagues. If you're in that world, they're trying to get you on every level. You can only exist as a vessel to glorify Christ. Use this body as a vessel to glorify you. Yeah, all the people asking for a buck. Ken says, let me get a buck for my PayPal. They're going to go out on that, on some dollar stuff. They're going to ask, they might as well say, let me get $1 million. Let me get $1 billion. Let me get a mega church. Because that $1 and a mega church is going to lead them to the same place, the blackest darkness. Because there is people that are trying. They just don't find the right person, and the people they do find have the appearance of wisdom. They may say something that they relate to or something, but that's not what wisdom is, because it's not what you think. It has nothing to do with me at all. Nothing. It's of the vine. It's not of me, any more than it was of the men that wrote the Bible. They would have got done writing their chapter, and somebody would have asked them, where'd you get this from? How'd you write this? It's not of me. I just understand it as it goes through. They would have had the same answer. That's right, Hughes, the vine, the Holy Spirit. Very few will find it. Yes, crypto, cash, all the currencies are an illusion. Just a scam. Remember, the mark of the beast, sacrificing oneself, both great and small, in order to buy or sell, right? But if you look at it from a reality standpoint of what's going on, there isn't going to be much to buy or sell, is there? There's no more fuel. Who wants a lawn tractor? You know, who's going to be having picnics and barbecues, any of that crap? What is there going to be to buy or sell? Sudden destruction befalls them. They too are deceived. Their father is the father of lies. They have no idea what's happening or why it's happening. They couldn't fathom that because it's hidden to them. Their father is the father of lies. They certainly can't imagine the one they've been sacrificing people to and doing all sorts of wicked stuff is going to show up here, and they're going to say, look what we did for you. And he's going to say, you didn't do that for me. You did that for you. And he's going to expose it. Also, with this illusion war between Russia and Ukraine and stuff, look for them to start exposing each other. Nung, welcome as well. Glad to have all of you. Nung is here. But at the end of the day, anybody that tries to stay, that's why it's like I said, the world ends, right? And it's like a gradual decline, I see. Then I see giant stairs at the end of that gradual decline. We're at the end of that. We're off the decline. So the world ended. The illusion has ended. Per the birth pains. Every one of those stairs is a birth pain. And the way it looks is, it's been many of them for a long time. Even in that world, the illusion, it's like ripples, stairs, but nothing like we're at now. into a black void. And I can see people falling in mass into that black void. Also, I see people jumping backwards. It's not going to work. They're jumping back into the world they love so much. Others are just falling straight into the pit, the darkness. And as those stairs go down, there's less and less people. That's where we're at. The stairs. The pit is people trying to go back into that world, jumping backwards or just falling off. They just can't. Very few will find that narrow path and avoid going into. That's why I see it like that. But this illusion that you exist in is brought to you by Satan. And once you can see it for what it is, and you commit in your heart that you're going to spend the rest of your life doing God's work, and you mean it, you will all continue to be renewed. I'm telling you, stick with it. Just wait till you understand it. It will be well worth it. The depth of riches of knowledge and wisdom. But stay ready. Don't get caught out in that world. As I said, people functioning in it are being set up, tricked, deceived on every level. On every level. Don't trust anybody. Test the spirits. That's what it says in the first place. Nobody does that anymore. As it says, they just go along with it easily enough. But don't be tricked by that truck thing in Ottawa. They're going to run out of fuel, and they're going to run out of food. It's not going to work out the way they planned because they're trying to fix a world. As I said, ended in November of 2019. That world is unfixable. Any more than a war between the Ukraine and Russia would do anything. It's all part of the illusion. All these things must come to pass. All of them. Wars, rumors of wars, disease, pestilence, they call it, earthquakes in various places, none of which we've ever seen the likes of any of it. As I said, as we go off those stairs, there's less and less people. But not a single hair on your head would be harmed. God chose you. As you can look around you and see, nobody knows anything, how special you are. He knows the end from the beginning. It's already done. It's not real. None of this is real. Just an illusion to trick you. Like I said, something like Job or something. Don't understand the whys, but I understand the what. The why is up to God. Let God's will be done. And if you do that, and you think less, you'll be way better off. But He knows what you need before you ask Him. He knows the end from the beginning. Do not worry about what you're going to do in the collapse. He wouldn't be waking you up beforehand. If you were going to perish, you have work to do. I haven't even begun to do what God has sent me back here to do. I'm only a vessel to glorify Him. And I only have bare minimum to function in that world at all. I couldn't even function in it, bare minimum. Other than that, it's 100% biblical stuff. My part in it would be, where do you start? You start with the hippie Jesus that everybody has on their picture in the wall. Do you start with the hippie Jesus, or can you go down a little bit further into the truth, into the vine, what it is and why it is? But most of the time, you gotta start at the top if they're open to it. They're not motivated yet, but they will be. And that again is why you're being kind of separated from the world. You're understanding who you are. Even if it's just starting, that gut feeling, there's a reason for that. That's God calling you. Commit to it. Don't perish in that world. Don't let people around you tell you to do stuff. None of this illusion has any authority over you. You have full authority over it. But again, like everything else, it's not of you. It's the one in you that has the authority over everything. The one in us is infinitely more powerful than the one in they. Remember, you're not appointed to wrath. This isn't for you. Part of this, not just for they, but for your neighbors and everyone around you, part of the wrath is the psychological aspect too, not just the physical of being hungry or whatever they're going to have to do. The panic, it's the psychological, the fear, the anxiety, just the confusion of not knowing. That's all part of it. But it's so easy when you can see the illusion for what it is. The sick feeling that they have to give up their house, their cars, their boat in the driveway, all of their stuff. And that's what's going to be their downfall. Also, the people around them have no idea what they're talking about, or they're they at some level. And so where does that leave them? The traps of the world, trapped at many levels deep, many levels, all the way through the physical, the people around them, to the material, all their cars and boat and whatever. So many different levels of traps. They have to get through all that. Then they have to get through, should we go to the camp or should we go to the church? Then they got to get through that. Then they can start. And you can see how rare that's going to be. But nobody's going nowhere, no matter what they say. As I said, everybody within this bubble, this snow globe, that Satan side, he's done with all of them. All of them. Forget the props, the politicians. None of them are of their own. They're not real. Everybody within this bubble, except for the humans, have to be tricked. Satan's going to annihilate, to deceive the humans that are left, to thinking he's a good guy. And in the background, the whole time, the illusion of that world will come back if you do this, whatever this can be. But that illusion is what people will hang on to. Some people will get past it, hopefully, with your help, your spiritual gifts that some of you are just becoming aware of. Continue to go with it. You can't stop now. There is no time left. But how lucky we are. God did this for us. I don't know what love is, but what he did for me is love. Dragging me out of this world, like 12, a long time. And then sending me back. Took so long because I had to learn stuff, I guess. For right now. They said we haven't even begun. You have to produce, for you have to. If you don't do it, or you don't get to where you need to be because you were still partying in the world, I guess. Don't do that. Stay ready. Because it's going to happen. That's right, Hughes. Deuteronomy 29. For 40 years, you didn't need food and such, so that you would know I was the Lord your God. 40 years, no food, so you would know I was the Lord your God. That should take all your concerns away immediately. Also, he knows the end from the beginning, and that you were not appointed for wrath, and that not a single hair on your head should perish. Ask and you will be given. That's what it says. Ask anything in my name and it'll be given to you. He knows what you need before you ask. All of that comes along with the vine. You'll see. As I said, this is just a little bit of it. Eyes that see, ears that hear, understand. Like Peter, when he tried to walk on the water, and he must have made it all the way to Jesus, because Jesus just reached down and picked him up out of the water. So he must have done it for a while, but then second guessed himself or something. As I said, maybe his worldly brain, he like popped back in there, and he like looked around and there was waves and he was walking on water, and he freaked out a little bit. He just wasn't there yet. He wasn't there yet. We're not going to have that luxury. We have to have the full armor of God. You have to keep going with it. It's never good enough. It's never going to be good enough. But never forget, none of this is real. You have full authority over it. Not you individually, the one in you. But I hope this finds all of you doing well. Totally content with who you are, no matter who you are. You're God's child. You're here working for him. It's all that matters. No fear. It's not for you. You're the general. Nobody's going to pull you in or tell you what to do in your time of need. Everybody's going to have a solution. Your way or the highway. He will provide for you. And those with you that believe. You have so much to offer. You're so powerful. You have no idea. Stay in the vine. That's why it says hidden with Christ in God. Another verse says clothed with Christ. Again, all funnels into that vine. I'm going to wrap it up now. I wasn't going to do this long of a video. About like a few seconds left on the battery, so understand the reality you exist in, who these people are, and why nobody's doing anything. And most importantly, what God has in store for all of us at the end of all this mess. Amazingness. Glad to have each and every one of you, Hughes, Fang, Ken, Nung, all of you. God bless everybody. I will talk to you all again tomorrow night. All glory to Christ.